Okay, I'm making a quick announcement. Starting today and for the next few Sundays, I will be collecting for poinsettias so that we will have poinsettias during the Advent season. I will have this sign-up sheet by the quilt tying station, so if you stop by, you can sign up for one. Thanks.
Are we ready to go? Okay. I am opening this meeting. Wow, that's loud. Yeah, that's better. We have a quorum in the sanctuary alone. Barb counted 31, and there's some online too. 2 people online, so we have 33, and the quorum was 30. So the meeting is open, and I will ask Pastor Kelly to come up and give us a brief prayer.
All right, will you join with me in this opening prayer to bring us into this time of consideration? God, as we were called today that change is inevitable, we have before us now the result of diligent work to sustain us through whatever our years ahead hold. We consider our opportunity to build in stability where we can, not for the sake of ourselves, but for the sake of amplifying your love. We seek the sustainability of the place where we can come together and be inspired in the face of feeling stuck, find hope when we feel despair, and find support when we feel unmoored. As we vote on this means of sustainability today, may we sustain not for ourselves, but for our neighbors, for selfless love and sharing. We thank you for the careful, faithful work that has gone into bringing us to this positive moment, and may it sustain the faithful work through this place long into the future. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. And now I will introduce Ann Johns and Barb This as members of the Sustainability Committee of Stewardship and Finance to come up and read the motion. Yep. I was just waiting till you got here.
Good morning. We've been working hard on this for a long time, so this is a kind of culmination. Were we able to get the motion up? Good. That's okay. If you want to read it with me, listen to me, read it. That the UCCLM could create a sustainability fund, an account managed by a reputable, established broker, income of which will, over time, produce revenue for projects appropriate for the values, needs, and goals of the congregation. The effort here is to diversify. This is not about our pledges. Thank you very much for your pledges to this church. This is about setting aside money for projects over time. And I think that's really important. We have various places where our finances are, and this is an alternative, one variation. What was interesting when we started looking at this is that there have been efforts for investment possibilities across the history of this church. People started out, for instance, we had, Janet found all the policy files for an endowment. It was never realized. So this is kind of a culmination of some efforts that never took place. So this time we're determined. The Sustaining Committee has been exploring possibilities with a broker. We have a broker at Schwab, very good, capable guy. And from these discussions, the committee has developed principles and practices which can change, but we're originating this with the practices we've got now. We also have the beginnings of a fund. We're not asking you to give money today. How about that? Not bad. Okay, instead, we have 80,000, let's see, I can get it exactly, $752 that have already been given, designated for that fund. And if you were one of the givers, thank you very much. We appreciate it. I also plan to give a substantial amount if this particular item, and I see some other people going like this, I hope that they also plan to give some. So here are what we propose. Revenue of the fund will not be used to cover day-to-day expenses. Those are our pledges, and we also use income from the house we own to pay day-to-day expenses as well. The fund will consist of solid long-term investments of both stocks and bonds, overseen by an expert at Charles Schwab. It's very interesting now that brokers are allowing you to invest in terms of themes. So the themes for investments will be consistent with the kind of progressive themes we have. Here are some possibilities, but there are 40 possible themes, so I can't read them all. Here's some. Health care and access. Active lifestyle. Good idea. Cancer research. Renewable energy. And the aging population of the U.S. These are all possible themes for investment in our stocks and bonds. The principal will be retained and only the income will be expended. Any amounts over $10,000 will require congressional approval. Decisions will be made by the what did I say? Congressional? Oh. We'll never get congressional approval on anything. We have much more possibility to have approval than they have. And other people who have been running the Congress don't have anything to say about this. All right, we're leaving them out of the whole story. No withdrawals from the account will be made in the first 3 years. We want to basically to have the account mature a bit before we make any kinds of decisions. And all changes in policies regarding this account will be made by Stewardship and Finance with the approval of the congregation. So that's where we are. Our motion is up. Do we have a second? Okay. Laura, thank you very much. Laura had the second. And our wonderful treasurer, let's give her a hand. We'll, in fact, take it from here because she knows all the answers.
Yeah, and we don't want this meeting to last all afternoon. I just want to kind of add to some of the things that Ann talked about. Yes, it's been something that's been in the works over the years. You need to be a little louder? There you go. I can do louder. But one of the things that we're looking at is you all have checking accounts or bank accounts of some kind. It's insured up to $250,000. After that, who knows? Well, I'm grateful to say we've actually got funds over $250,000. We have a bank account with U.S. Bank, which gives us nothing on our money, but it holds some of our day-to-day operating money. We've also got an account with Mission Federal Credit Union, which we've been able to have a savings account that we use to earn 2.5%, along with investing in a few CDs over the last year. So if you happen to see financial reports, some of that interest income, and that's where it's coming from. But we're getting to that point when we start collecting money, especially around this $80,000. Our dedicated fund monies total are over $180,000 right now. We also set aside 2 months operating reserves, which is close to $50,000. Well, we're hitting that 250 mark. So now it's like, okay, do we split between U.S. Bank that we're not earning any money, Mission Federal to 250? The idea between having Schwab is to give us some flexibility with our money. We can take this endowment money and move it to an investment company that there is no cap on the amount of money that can go into that fund. So that was one of the pluses that are going into it. Ann talked about some of the different types of funds. We're not going to get really wild on our investments. We'll do somewhat conservative, would like to earn maybe 7 or 8% on what our money is. The funds will be watched, that if by chance the market tanks, we pull money. I mean, we don't wait around to see what's going to happen. So our goal is to at least maintain the principal, but the way that the stocks and bonds have been going, we have seen growth. We talked about policies that we put in place to at least get us started. One of the things that's in that policy is if there is a major need in the church, okay, I don't know, the hill fell down and we need money. I mean, there isn't any other money to do. I would say the roof would fall in, but we got the roof fixed. We do have the ability to pull money from there if by chance, if there is emergency need. But chances are that's going to be an over a $10,000 amount, which is going to require a congregational vote. So you'll be in on if we have to pull money out for something for the church. Somebody asked about an endowment account versus what we're doing. In doing our research, that endowment account title had a lot of limitations on it. So we were advised to go this route with an investment account. We had money, like Ann said, that has been around for a while. It was in a legacy fund. And we kind of thought that's kind of legacy, was kind of stuff in the past. We wanted something more future thinking. So at the council meeting, we changed the name of the fund to a sustainability fund because that is something that's going to help us grow in the future. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm going to open up the floor for questions or any other discussions, and I need somebody to man the mic for me. Thanks, Laverl. Yep, Patty.
I understand that $10,000 or more will need the congregational approval. So let's say that the hill does slide and it's going to cost $7,000. Who makes that decision?
Council.
Okay.
Council.
All right. So I think that's important to understand that there still is a process that there is approval given.
And the other thing is also to have some flexibility in case of emergency. If that hill's falling down and it's running right into Charlie Brown, and it's only going to cost us $7,000 or $8,000, we can't wait 3 weeks for a congregational meeting,
Right.
so our council can step in.
Could I also speak in favor of the motion? Ann Johns and I have been having this conversation about our age and how long we've been in this church and what it means to us. So I really encourage you because, I mean, you could give $100 to this and it would help grow. And that's very important. And I think it's very important to understand that this is not going to be haphazard spending because there is a process to do it. So I really encourage you to look to the future because there are a lot of us who have a lot of emotional and time invested in this congregation. And I would like to know that when I'm gone, that I'll still be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Betsy?
This is a nuts and bolts question.
Okay, I got my wrench. My screwdriver, I'm ready.
For the congregation, what is the mechanism for contributing to the fund? You know, do I bring a bag of $10 bills?
I'll take your money anywhere you want to bring it, okay? If you want to bring it to me all in pennies, that's okay. Although the bank won't let us deposit more than $400 in cash at any time because they're afraid of money laundering. So I prefer a
that right?
check.
Okay,
a
okay,
cashier's check.
so that,
You would make a deposit, you can drop it into the collection plate at any point in
Okay.
time. You can use
and
Tidely or PayPal.
do we make it out to the or do we make it out to you? And
Thank you. I like that. That's like, you just like you would have done for El Nido, Neighbors in Need. You make it out to
Okay.
UC Salem. In the memo line, put sustainability fund.
And lastly, and I think I know the answer, but I wouldn't be asking these things if I didn't, if I
Go
knew
ahead.
them. Is it tax deductible for us?
Yeah.
When we give, so that maybe can be another thing. I noticed that just now Patty said, please give like $100. It doesn't have to be $400,000 or something, but also that's something that can come out of your taxes, because it's it's going to a nonprofit and it's
Exactly.
a donation and all that. And so I'm just saying that might be yet another impetus for people.
Yeah,
to,
it's a donation to a nonprofit because it's going to the church. The church is going to use it for church business, so yes, it's tax deductible.
Okay, thank you.
Let's
any-
pass it to Sam. Then we'll come back around.
What?
Sam, and then Danny, and then Patty.
Thanks. First, I want to thank all those who have been working hard on this. And Barb was able to answer a few of my questions, which you knew I would have, having worked in this area for a long time. Tacking on to what Betsy said, if you are at a stage in your life where you are taking required minimum distributions from your 401k, these can also be made directly to the church, and you never have to pay the tax on it. It can go to the
Thank you,
this
Sam.
fund.
That's very, very true.
It's quite important in the work that I do with Seroptimus. We find that we get a lot of contributions that way. The motion says income of which will over time produce revenue for projects. I appreciate that, but if we restrict it to income, it feels more like an endowment. And I think what you explained to me is that this is really the quasi-endowment that I recommended to Stewardship and Finance over, nearly 2 years ago.
And it could technically, income could be the interest on the money, but technically, if you drop $100 in the plate, that's income to the church. So it can be used.
Yes, but can the principal ever be broken into in case
Yes.
of extreme need?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and there's if let's say the stocks
you-
crash, and we don't get there fast enough to sell out and get, we may lose some of that principal.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
the idea is hopefully not.
Well, of
Yeah.
course, obviously, but
Okay.
but unless you can, then it is an endowment, and that's not a wonderful idea
No.
for true sustainability.
Okay. Danny was next.
Well, I have a couple things. One, you made a point that money in the bank, if we have over $250,000, it's not FDIC insured. Well, nothing in Schwab is FDIC insured.
Correct.
So we have to people have to realize this isn't making it any safer. And number two, trying to time the market is not the right thing to do. You put the principal in, you let it grow, and the times that it goes down, you just don't have any income from it, but you don't try to take it out when the market goes down. You have to leave it in there so it continues to grow and gain things as market's down.
True. But if we had major market crash,
It's going to happen.
okay, well, then we would pull. I mean, you're going to have that flux that you have throughout the year. You see it anyway. But we haven't seen a stock market crash in a very long time. But that doesn't mean that it won't happen.
Well, of course
And you're right about the 250 putting it into Schwab. It's not insured for 250.
It's not insured for anything.
No.
So, and I totally disagree with trying to get money out before the market crashes, because you just can't time the market.
No.
So I think you have to decide that money that goes in there is staying in for the long haul. And the years that we get money from it as income, excellent, we can spend that, but the years we don't, I mean, nobody could time the 2008 market crash. It went down by a third overnight.
Okay,
So I think it's just silly to think that we're going to be able to time it that
No.
way.
okay. And then Patty had her hand up, and then we'll hit Maria. Patty, do you still have a comment? No, wait, okay, Maria.
It makes noise. I understand what we're doing,
Okay.
but ultimately, what happens to that initial investment? Where does it end up in the end? When does it end?
The initial investment?
Okay, we put in $80,000 into
Yeah.
this fund, okay?
It's like putting it in a bank account, or it's an account that will grow?
No, I
Or
understand.
it's like having a different regulations behind it. It's like having a CD. We do a $20,000 CD. Okay, we get our interest and it's there. The thing with this is, it's got 80,000, but I walk out of here today and somebody hands me a check for some more money. We drop it into that account.
Right. And how do we end, 20 years from now, we need to close this account?
Why?
That's gonna, I don't know.
The idea is to be able to sustain the church for the long haul. So we're hoping and praying, as we do every year, that our pledges take care of our day-to-day operating reserves. That this account, money could be used, maybe there's scholarships for something. We have a lot of social justice programs we want to do that, that we want to invest in, people can apply to the sustainability committee about using money for that. But it's something it's just always there. So if somebody puts in their will that the money is going to go to UCCLM and it's going to be part of our sustainability account and they don't die for 10 years, we're hoping never to have to close that account, that we'll have the money there.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Next, you give it to Laura. Laura, turn around. Thank you.
So I'm in favor of the motion with just the one request that I heard, which is I work with brokers and I've had my money in brokerage accounts, and so I've never taken my money out. So when I hear the trying to take it out, I go, what? If there's the market, the whole thing is dollar cost averaging. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. So if it went really, 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 really down, unlikely to totally crash, but we've been through recessions and it's looking like we're headed toward one. There'll be a correction and eventually it'll go back up. And so I'm not in favor of us pulling out. I think we just say, this is where we're parking our money for a while or forever, and it's going to build over time, and when there's income, we take it out. When there's not income, unless it's an extreme emergency, we leave it there. And so that's kind of where I'm coming from with it.
And the reason I mentioned the taking the money out, I had somebody ask me about that. It's not like we're going to park this in an account and never look at what's coming. Our monthly reports, there'll be a line item for what's in this account and what money it has generated every month so people can watch. So something, Joanne?
You have to remember that this fund will be watched, as Barbara just said, and stewardship and finance will be in charge of it and be responsible for doing that monitoring.
Correct.
And if they decide that it's a wonderful idea for us to take $100,000 out of that account or whatever it happens to be, it would have to come to the congregation. So I don't think we need to worry about the event that might cause us to have to close the account.
Okay, thank you. Nicole, I don't know if we've got any questions online, but flag me if we get something. Ron, was that not? Okay, thank you. Ron?
I'm not a fiduciary, but I play one on TV.
Hey, wait a minute, you were. Wait a minute, you were the church's treasurer for a while, so.
Yeah.
That scares me.
But
Go ahead.
I have a question, and I've forgotten what it was. Oh, how does Schwab make its money? They make a lot of money. That's a very rich organization.
Thank you. I'll repeat it. They make money depending on how money is invested. The different accounts have different ways of them earning money. But I will, when we work with Schwab, we'll clarify that. They take percentages, but it's not right off the top, I don't think.
Hold it a minute.
Oh, there you go. Thanks, Danny.
If you just parked your money in cash with Schwab, put $100,000 in cash there, just like when you have money in your bank, they're going to lend it out to other people, and that's how they're going to make money. They're not going to take a percentage of that $100,000 for themselves. But through various different investments, whatever type of things they invest with, those things they can. Some of them will make different amounts of money off of each trade, although that's not as much as it used to be. But it just depends on what you're invested in terms of how they make money. But they will always make money.
Okay, there you got to. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate that clarification. Okay. Miss Patty.
I just want to share with you what my fiduciary consultant tells me. Don't stress. You have no control. You can watch and wait and wish and hope, but there are corrections, and unless you're well informed, you could really make a mess. And that's where they make their money, moving it in the right place. And this is about as safe as any place. What are you going to get, 2% on your savings at a bank? I mean, we all know that's a joke. CDs, they have restrictions. So I think it's time to vote.
And one of the things is people are giving the money to the Sustainability Fund, know where it's going. Okay, they know it's going in an investment account. If you don't want your money to be in an investment account, you don't feel that it's stable enough for you, then you're welcome to give as part of your pledge to the day-to-day operating reserves. We've got a multitude of dedicated funds that we use for specific purposes. Then put your money in that spot. You know, not everybody is comfortable with putting their money in an investment account, and that's okay. But the money that we have, this $80,000, it was earmarked for something like this. Let me make sure. I want to make sure I answered everybody's questions, and I think we're getting there. Miss Colleen.
Just real quick, I've always invested in social programs. And he told me at the time, you don't make a lot of money on that.
Okay.
So that's one thing to consider. I mean, we're not going to be making.
No, we're not going to be making, you know.
But that's okay because it's fit me. And this is probably not changeable, but the 10,000, taking money out of this as we need it, 10,000, to me, it seems a little high. I know that's what the bylaws say, but I'm just concerned that maybe it should be 5,000. I think the church should know, there's some way that the church should at least know we're taking 5,000 out, or we're taking.
Stewardship and Finance, the Sustainability Committee will go to Stewardship and Finance. Stewardship and Finance will go to Council, so Council will at least know.
And then we'll be informed.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Nicole, was there a question back there? I saw it flash. Okay. Can we go ahead and vote?
To Colleen's point, you also have the option as a congregation of amending the bylaws. And if you wanted to see a lower threshold, you could certainly sponsor a bylaw amendment at the annual meeting or any time in between. That's part of the congregational system.
Okay. We would just like to do a hand raise vote, if that's okay with everybody. I have ballots if you feel more comfortable, but I'd just like to do a hand raise. Okay. All in favor of the motion as proposed, say aye. Aye. And I need somebody to take a quick count. It's because Debbie can't see. Who's counting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 26. Those opposed? Abstentions? I'm not sure if that was a no or vote. I'll have to ask her when she leaves. She walked away. Okay, motion passes. Thank you very much for your time this morning. There's cake in the social hall and ice cream. Oh, I hope we didn't leave it out and it's melting. Or was it, so is that 29? 29. Thank you. No, they can see who's voting. They come by name. Thank you, everybody.
I'm adjourning the meeting, even though you're all leaving anyway. Adjourn.